Hi, I'm Amy Romeo of Amy Romeo Crafts, and welcome to my Seaside Vibes crafting event where I'm sharing a brand new summer faux leather craft for your Cricut every day for 10 days. Today we'll be making this really pretty seashell themed purse charm. This clips onto your purse or your handbag to add some sparkle and interest, and I've created two different colorways for you. And if you're wondering where the faux leather is on this project, it's actually these little charms. These charms are two pieces of faux leather with heat transfer vinyl pressed onto each side, and then the two pieces of faux leather are glued together to create these fun charms. I have the SVG file for this project in my shop. If you'd like to craft along with me, I'll leave a link to it for you. So I'll be making this project today using my Cricut Maker, but you can use any of the current Cricut machines because they all cut faux leather using the regular fine point blade that comes with your machine. The faux leather that I'm using happens to be on a roll. You can use faux leather in sheets as well. The only thing that is really important is that your faux leather is nice and smooth so that your heat transfer vinyl will stick. I'll leave links to the faux leather that I used and all of the supplies in this project for you. I'm using some regular Caesar Easy Weed heat transfer vinyl. It can be your choice, whatever you'd like to use. I'll be pressing my heat transfer vinyl onto my faux leather using my Easy Press Mini. You could use a regular Easy Press if that's what you have. You'll want a cover sheet of some kind. This is a Teflon sheet that I've trimmed smaller, or you could use butcher paper or parchment paper. I'll also be using my heat pressing pad to protect my surface. Now the glue that I'm using is Beacon Fabri-Tac. The back of faux leather is essentially fabric, so this works really well. I'll be showing you a really important trick to be able to get your charms nice and smooth with very smooth edges. The chain that I'm using is just a bulk chain. Again, I'll have a link to this for you. I just trimmed this to the size that I wanted, and then I attached it to a lobster claw clasp. And then these also come in colors if you didn't want the metal colors. Then I've attached lots of fun charms that I found on Amazon using 10mm jump rings. So there's some enamel charms, some little pearls, some seashells. Really, it's totally up to you. Some tools I'll be using. I've got my little curved scissors. I have a weeding tool. I like a pin pen, but you might have a weeding hook. And then you'll need some jewelry making pliers to attach all of your little charms to your chain. So let's go ahead and hop into Cricut Design Space. We'll start to get our mats cut out and our project assembled. Starting with a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space, you'll click on Upload and then Upload Image, and you'll browse to where the unzipped SVG file for this project has been unzipped and saved on your device. Click on it to select it and then click Open. You'll see a preview of the shapes. Click Continue and then Upload. So here you can see the 5 seashell charms that I've created for you. Each one of them has a front and a back. They are already mirrored images of each other, so that means when you put them back to back, they're going to line up perfectly. So it will look like it's the same charm from each side. So let me go ahead and ungroup them just so I can show you how they are each set up. So each one of them has a base color on the bottom. I'm cutting these from a cream color faux leather today, but you can use any color you'd like. And then I have the heat transfer vinyl color on top. So you can cut these from any heat transfer vinyl you'd like. It doesn't matter what the color shows in Design Space. You will cut whatever heat transfer vinyl you choose on your mat. So we don't need to make any changes. These are all sized perfectly for our little charms. So I'm going to click the Make It button. We're cutting our material on a mat. And the first thing I want to do is go through and mirror each of my mats because faux leather and heat transfer vinyl cut in reverse. And once I've mirrored each mat, I want to go back through now on each mat, and what I want to do is drag my little shapes away from the edges of the mat and away from each other a little bit. This is going to help us when we are weeding and cutting our heat transfer vinyl and also cutting our faux leather shapes. So I'm just going to do that for each vinyl mat. Now on this faux leather mat, all of the shapes are cutting from the same faux leather, so they're all here on the same mat. Again, I just want to drag them away from the edges and away from each other a little bit. While you're doing this, you'll want to pay attention to what size faux leather you'll need to put down on your mat so that all of your shapes will cut completely, but you won't have a lot of excess faux leather. So in my case, I'm going to want to use a piece of faux leather that's about 9 inches wide and 4 inches tall. And using a smaller piece of faux leather helps us get a good cut and helps keep our faux leather from shifting on the mat while the blade is going through. So I'm just going to continue with optimizing all of these mats. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my faux leather mat, click on it to select it, and then click continue. The material setting I'll be using is faux leather paper thin. If you don't have this setting bookmarked as a favorite, you can click on browse all materials and search for it. If you are using the Explorer Air 2 machine, you'll need to turn your dial to custom before you can find this setting when you search. Now, don't be alarmed about the faux leather paper thin. Your faux leather does not need to be paper thin. It's going to cut just fine using this cut setting and your standard fine point blade. So faux leather paper thin is our setting, and I always choose more pressure. And this is the reminder that we're just using the fine point blade. Now, for all of your heat transfer vinyl mats, you will cut those using the manufacturer's recommended cut setting for your brand and type of heat transfer vinyl. Okay, so let's hop back over to my overhead camera. We will start to cut out our mats and then continue on with the project. So I've trimmed my faux leather down to that smaller size I saw in the mat preview screen. I'm going to take this and flip it over and put it pretty side down on my purple strong grip mat. Right in that spot I saw the shapes are going to cut from. I'm going to press this down really well with my fingers, and then I'm going to use some blue painter's tape, and I'm going to tape this down on all sides. And again, this helps keep that faux leather from shifting while cutting, which is a way to make sure we get great cuts. So we have our faux leather paper thin cut setting with more pressure ready to go. So we'll just load our mat into the machine and begin the cut. So our shapes have cut one time, and I'm going to use my sharp weeding tool before I unload the mat just to lift up the edge of my cuts here and see if it looks like they went all the way through. Now these look good, but if when you lift up your edge, it doesn't come up cleanly, you can rerun your cut as many times as you need to just by pressing your cut button again. And this works as many times as you need to, as long as you haven't unloaded your mat. But my shapes look pretty good, so I'm going to unload my mat and remove my shapes. Now remember, these little charms all have a little pre-cut hole at the top. And what I'm going to do is use my weeding tool and just poke through with that hole. And if the hole does not come out all the way, don't worry, you can use your small curved scissors just to trim off that little part that's stuck. Or if you need to poke the hole completely through, you can use a 1/16 inch hole punch, and this will make the perfect size little hole. These are available on Amazon, and I'll leave a link to that for you. But you'll want to remove all of your shapes and poke through all of your holes so that we can return to Design Space and start cutting out our heat transfer vinyl mats. So now I've returned to Design Space and I've selected my material setting for my Caesar Easy Weed. I use the iron-on setting with default pressure. I'm just going to go through now, put my heat transfer vinyl shiny side down on my mat, and then we're going to cut out all of these heat transfer vinyl mats. Then I'll weed away the excess, the outside and any little inside details, and then we will come back together. We will press the heat transfer vinyl onto the faux leather. I'll show you how to glue the charms, and then we will assemble our purse charms. So I've finished weeding away all of my vinyl layers. I've weeded away the excess and also all of the inside cutouts. I've also cut these two pieces apart from each other. And then on my heat pressing pad, I have my little faux leather shapes. The little circle has been punched all the way out, and the edges are nice and clean. If you have any little faux leather fuzzies on the edges of your faux leather, you can trim that up again with your small little curved scissors. So I have my Easy Press Mini set to the low setting, which is that first green line. If you're using a regular Easy Press, I recommend setting it to about 265 degrees. So I'm just going to take my little heat transfer vinyl layer and match it up to the bottom piece. Now you should have a nice even border showing of the faux leather underneath. If your border doesn't look like it matches your heat transfer vinyl shape. It could be that this layer goes on the other side. Remember, these are mirrored images of each other, so you will have a slight variation from the front to the back. So that looks pretty good. I'm just going to cover with my little Teflon sheet that I've trimmed smaller. You could use butcher paper or parchment paper. And I'm just going to press for about 7 to 10 seconds. Then I'm going to just set this aside, let it cool while I do the other one. Now we will slowly try and peel away the clear carrier sheet. And as you're peeling, you're looking for any vinyl lifting or bubbling. This one looks pretty good. If you do see your vinyl lifting, just place your carrier sheet right back down, cover and press again for 5 to 10 seconds. But this one looks good, so I'm just going to keep peeling that back. And there's our little shape. Now I want this to continue to cool nice and flat, so I'm just going to pop it underneath my heat pressing pad for about a minute. Repeat with this one, and that looks really good. Okay, so I have already gone ahead and pressed and glued all of the other charms because I want them to start gluing nicely together. So let me show you how we assemble the little chain part of the purse charm before we move on to attaching and gluing the charms. So this is that lobster claw clasp that sort of opens like this, if you can see that, and it's got a big swivel hook at the bottom. So this particular chain is very easy to open a link. So you can either cut your chain with some wire cutters, or you can open a link with pliers, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is about a 5-inch length of chain for the purse charm. You can make it longer or shorter. And because this link opens very easily, I'm just going to show you how I do that. So I find the opening in the link here. I'm going to hold on one side with my pliers, grip the other side with another pair of pliers, and just gently twist. And that opens up that top link, and I'm just going to pop it onto the swivel hook. Now, if you cannot open your chain because it is too thick, again, you can cut one of the links with some wire cutters and then use a jump ring to connect the chain to the bottom swivel hook on your clasp there. So there's our little chain. That's ready to go. Now let me show you how to glue the front and the back of the charm together. So I'm using that Fabri-Tac, and what you want to do is place a nice layer of glue. You want to get almost to the edge, but not quite. You don't want to use too much glue. We're going to press this underneath our heavy book, which is that trick that I mentioned. That's going to help us get a really nice flat charm. And when we're pressing, some of the glue is going to seep to the edges, which is what we want. So we want to allow a little bit of room for that glue to seep to the edge. So now I'm just going to place the other side of the charm on the one that I glued. Make sure you're lining up that little pre-cut hole so that it goes all the way through on both sides. And I'm just gently pressing with my fingers. And you'll notice that the edges are not at all tight yet. And that's okay, that's completely normal. That's why we need our next step of placing this glued charm underneath a heavy book. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I have all of my other charms here that have been drying for, I'd say, about 5 minutes. The edges already look nice and tight. I do recommend letting these dry for about an hour. But these look pretty good so far. You can see that nice, almost seamless edge, which is perfect. And our little hole lines up for our jump rings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take just a moment, go through all of my little charms and pick some out. So then we can go ahead and let these finish drying. And then I'll show you how to attach them all to the purse charm chain. Okay, so we're back. I've picked out some charms that I like. Again, these are all from little sets on Amazon. Some are just metal. There's little pearls. These have either gold wires or silver wires, which is nice, so I can use my silver chain as well. These are some little shells, some crystals. They're just lots of fun. These have enamel on them. I just love all of them. So I have all of my little faux leather charms that we made. They are glued together. The edges are nice and tight, and which is what we want, a nice firm seal. And I've got my 10mm jump rings. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my large charms first, and I like to start with one on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead, take a 10mm jump ring here. I'm going to put it on one of my larger charms here, just thread it through. You're your holes. There we go. And I'm just going to pop it on the bottom of my chain. Again, this is a 5-inch length, but you can make yours any size. And now I'm just going to close up that jump ring. And then after I've done that, I have 4 charms left. So I'm going to kind of space them out. Just spend a little time figuring out how you want them to look. I usually like to put one right up toward the top. And then now I see that I have this gap left. So then I just kind of like to alternate them. I try not to put similar colors next to each other as well. So I'm just going to kind of lay them out like that. Now all I need to do is pick up a jump ring for each one, slide it onto the charm, and then connect these to the chain. Now that I have one at the top and one on the bottom, I'm going to try and place this one pretty much toward the middle, so I'm able to space these evenly. There we go. So now I have a gap on both sides. Don't worry too much about them, facing forward or anything, since they are double-sided. You'll see them as they move around. So now that we have our 5 faux leather charms in place, now it's time to start to really embellish this with more charms. So you can add as many as you'd like. You can add just a few. It's totally up to you, but I find that these are really fun when they're chunky and full of other charms. So I'm just going to continue using my 10mm jump rings and then just spacing these out, alternating them, and really having some fun with this. And that's it. Isn't that fun? So again, you can add more charms if you'd like. You can, really dress this up, customize it however you like. I think this is going to be a great accessory for the summer. So here's the one that we made today. Here's the one that I made that used the colored faux leather and the metallic gold heat transfer vinyl. That's another really pretty look. You could do this with silver as well. There's silver chain and there's also silver hooks. Now I also created an extra summer purse charm version. This one has a turtle and a sun, a dolphin, a little crab, and also some flip-flops. And this is a bonus for my Seaside Vibes crafting event. This is included in the VIP pass, and I'll leave a link to that for you for more information on that. I really hope you enjoyed this project, and I can't wait to see the seashell purse charms you create. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.